It seems like it's a foregone conclusion. If you want to be a successful indie author these days, everybody says you need to have social media presence. But where do you start? Where's the places that's going to be most effective to you? Well, this is going to vary per the author that you ask. But fortunately, I do know of an author that is absolutely slaying it, especially when it comes to talking about book marketing. His name is Andy Slinger, and he's set up a base over on Instagram where he's amassed over 13,000 followers. Now, this is not just botted traffic. He actually has viewers and he also has followers that engage with him. So this is meaningful. He's built a community. So don't look at my Instagram profile, by the way. Mine's the example of what you shouldn't do. Andy Slinger is an example of what you should do. So without any further ado, let's get on into it and talk a little bit about Instagram and authors with Andy Slinger. So Andy, the big burning question I have for you right out the gate is Instagram. You've managed to conquer that to a certain extent. You have 13,000 followers right now, and it's not just a bunch of botted followers. Like, what is the secret? Because you clearly have a community here that's consuming your content and loves it on Instagram.
I think just a lot of persistence more than anything. I made it my mission to grow Instagram above all platforms, really. So I put the majority of my attention into Instagram to begin with. I stayed consistent. I went for probably a year where I was frightened not to post every day. So I do a feed post every day, and I've adapted to changes as it's gone along. With the rise in Reels, I've adapted my content to suit that. So I started off, I was just very much just static images. Then I sort of changed the frequency of adding carousels in there, adding reels in there, and just tried to change with the times more than anything. But I think the number one thing, as with any platform, is I built real relationships with my followers. I got in there in the DMs, spoke to these people, and really got a relationship with them. And I think once you start to build those real relationships, where that's just 10 people, they then start chatting to other people. They might share your posts, and before you know it, you start to build up a following. It doesn't happen overnight. You've got to work really hard for it. And I think more than anything, it is just time and hard work. It really is.
So do you find is Instagram like a great place for you to sell your books as an author?
Yeah, I think with my profile, I started off and it was purely just an author profile. As time's gone on, I've adapted it to be a marketing type profile. But I think that's been my main source of book sales. I'm not necessarily trying to sell to people. Trying to build an audience, trying to engage with people and give great content out there. When they sort of start to like you and know you and understand you and engage with you, that's when they click your link in your bio. That's when they'll have a look and say, all right, well, let's have a look at his website, see what's on there, maybe to a landing page or something like that. And once they've got that interest and they click on that, that's when back at house, I make sure that all my ducks are in the row and I've got all my marketing set up so that they hit that page, they look at it, they like what they see, and that leads them down my funnel into my, and ultimately generate sales from it. But I don't necessarily try it and sell through Instagram. I might show people snapshots of what's happening with my book. Oh, first draft's gone off to my editor, or like look at where I write. This is my inspiration. Look at the books I'm reading this week. All those kind of things. But not actually saying buy my book, buy my book, buy my book. Unless it's maybe launch day. Maybe launch day. Say, hey, come on, click that link.
Totally acceptable in that instance. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But I think the majority of it is just building up that trust factor with them. Showing people that you're a real person.
So you're showing that obviously value comes first. Like deliver the value. Mm-hmm. How are you getting the people over to your Instagram profile? Is there are you paying for traffic? Are you engaging in other people's posts? I just kind of wonder, how does that work?
Yeah, I think the first thing you need to do is find your ideal reader. Find that age group or whatever, or sex or professionalism. It doesn't matter what it is. You need to find your ideal reader. Once you know who your reader is, then you know where to look for them. Yes, there is an element of going onto people's profiles and engaging with them. There is an element of getting involved in the bookish community, in the reader community. The Bookstagram and different variations of that within Instagram are massive. They're huge. Now, where you're going to find readers, you're going to find them in those communities. Now,
Okay.
you can't go into those communities and go, "Hey, look, I'm an author. Look at me. Come back to my profile. Check me out." You need to go into
Yeah.
those groups and say, "Right, okay, I'm a reader. You know, I like to read like you do, and I also like to write. But you'll find that out if you look at my profile. But let's engage. Let's engage with these other readers and see what they, see what they do, see what they like, see how they talk about books." And start talking in their language. Once you start doing that and start engaging with people automatically start coming back to them. There are ways to pay for traffic on Instagram. Absolutely. I can put $5 a day into it, and definitely I'll get a load of traffic coming back to me. Whether it's the right traffic, that all depends on my targeting. You can do it through Facebook or you do it through Instagram. And yes, you can bring traffic, but I would say that that's definitely colder traffic. I prefer to actually engage with people and get the traffic that way. And I think over time that word of mouth plays a part in it. If the way I see it, if you can engage with 10 people a week, that's all I'm talking, 10 people that and really get into their profile, look at the posts, really understand them, and leave meaningful comments on them. Engage in the DMs with them, and before you know it, those people become real fans. Now, as most people who've tried marketing can testify to, once you get those real fans that build them up to be super fans, that's when they start speaking about you and telling everyone else, "Come on, check out Andy. He's a great profile. You really enjoy his stuff." So I think, building profile, I've done it pretty much organically, I would say. Yeah, I've tried adverts generally during book releases,
Yeah.
because there's ways of taking, if you were to run an ad through Facebook, right, onto Instagram, you can take your Instagram followers and you can do a lookalike audience of those followers, so you can get people who are similar to the people that you're using already, and that gives you a really good platform for doing it. So I would take perhaps a high performing post, something that's got real good engagement in it, loads of likes, loads of comments, people have shared it, and I'd use that. All I'd do is I'd pretty much just boost that post,
Yeah.
get that traffic out, get that out to more people, and as a result of that, yes, you will get a good response from that. Now, if it's a post that's high engagement, which is also, I don't know, got a strong call to action, maybe come visit my website, come look at my new book, something like that, that's actually going to generate website clicks, because that's what you want at the end of the day. You can build up an audience, but you want them to be going across and clicking on your website and going onto your traffic. So that's how I'd build it up that way. But it's very rare that I do paid marketing with Instagram.
Yeah.
Everything I've done has been pretty much organic, I would say.
That's incredible, man. And honestly, anytime I see someone, I automatically go, okay, they're dispensing advice kind of like you. I'm like, okay, I've got to look at this and take it with a pinch of salt. But then when I discovered, man, this dude really actually is talking some great sense here, and his audience loves it. So that's the part I really love about everything that you're doing. And even, you hosted a live interview with me once, and that was a blast. Yeah. Like, how many people showed up? Great. It was fantastic. It was a good time. All right, so here's, I've heard you mention consistency is key. Can you kind of tap into a little bit more on that? Is it like a case of, do I need to do X amount of posts in a given time period? What type of posts would those be? Kind of give this to me like I'm a beginner.
Okay. Firstly, I would say consistency is different for everyone. Consistency is what you can do, right? So if you can post once a week, then you post once a week, yeah? But make sure that you post on the same day at the same time, right? Because you're training the algorithm here. You're training the algorithm to say, right, oh, hang on, Andy posts at 7 o'clock on a Saturday night, right? So let's push his post out that way. If you can post 2 or 3 times a week, great. Post 2 or 3 times a week. Don't say that you're going to post 5 times a week and then miss one week, miss the next week, miss the week after that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all guilty of that, but
I'm
don't
so
try and do
guilty.
too much, yeah? Yeah. So just stick to 3 times a week, right? And the way that I do it is I'll sit there and I'll build like 10, 15 pieces of content, yeah? I'll sit there and I'll spend like a couple of hours and I'll put them all together and then I just schedule them, right? So I've got these 3 different pieces of content going out this week, I've got 3 going out next week, 3 the week after that, and I'm always ahead of myself, yeah? So I've got it mapped in front 2 or 3 weeks, and that's great, you know, so I don't need to worry about it. I don't need to go, oh my God, I need to get a piece of content out today. I put it at the same time so my followers know when it's going to be. So 6 o'clock UK time, boom, there's my post, right? All my followers know it's going to be like that. And you're training the algorithm and you're training your audience to know and expect when your posts are coming out. And they might be sat there, having the dinner, and they know at that time my post's going to pop out. So that's the first thing in terms of consistency. Just do what you can and do it at the times that you feel, your audience is most active. Start with that. In terms of what you post and the formats of the post, Instagram is like most social media places now. It's pushing the video content. Yeah. So if you can get on camera, then do it. If you can produce a nice long piece of content, so we could take this interview, we could say, right, okay, we record this interview, it's 10-20 minutes long. I take 15, 20 second snippets of it, edit it down, say, right, that was fantastic what you said there, Andy. Dale, I love that bit, we'll snip that in there. You can take a long form piece of content and cut it up into 2 or 3 different reels, schedule them out, happy days. Nice, easy content. Yes, you can do single posts. Yes, you can do carousels, which are just multiple videos. If you're really clever with them, you can get them to seamlessly move along by themselves. Like one seamless picture, it looks like.
Yeah.
But go for that. And if you can throw a live in there, then great. It's people always love that. It's great interaction, and everyone gets a notification. All your followers go bing, 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 bing. Andy's on live. He's live. He's live. Come on, quick, pile on there. And that's great. It's just posting enough and of a decent amount of variety that people stay interested. They know that you're still there. Every so often they get a little reminder. Look, Andy's still here. He's not gone anywhere. He might have been off for a week, but he's back. Ding ding. Notifications, and that's what you want.
Briefly you'd mentioned reels, of course, and video really coming to the forefront. Is there any one specific type of post besides doing video for reels that I should focus on? Something that would be a quick victory, because I'm thinking of, like, say for instance, a full-time mother carries a job and does this at the same time. What's like the easiest post that's going to get the best results beyond just the reels?
Beyond reels, I would say, just go for things like memes, whichever way you call them, GIFs. You can make them really easily. If you just go into Canva or something like that, you can put together a meme really quickly, and you'll get great interaction from that. You really will. Single posts like that, I'll put together 10 or 20 of them. So if I'm ever lacking content, I can just throw one of those in, and it's a dead easy win. There's very little production value involved in it. You don't have to put a lot of time and effort into making them, but you're going to get a decent result from it. And if you're clever about things, and you the way that I do it is I make like a template. So my single posts all have like my name at the top, like in a search bar. They all have like digital marketing for authors along the top. They all got a little save button there, and it's great. I've just got that template set up, and the same for like when I've got 10 slides together, I've got template set up. So all I need to do is just bosh an image in, done. So spend that little time just getting it set up, getting your theme right, your colours correct, and then it's dead easy just to throw one out.
You'd laid the groundwork initially. There was a little bit of work up front, but now it's just a case of just throwing a log on the fire and keeping it, burning.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think you do get to that stage. I think, if it does go stagnant, and you don't post consistently, like I say, then it will trail off. People get bored you know, of your content. They won't maintain the interest. It is just keep stoking that fire. And you've probably got the same with YouTube. Do you have like a consistent schedule that you stick to
Oh
over
yeah,
there?
absolutely. Everything you're saying, it directly parallels what I'm doing over on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. That's it. So it just shows like how similar the platforms are. Really, their algorithms might be different, but the reality is just you've got to keep just stoking that fire. And even when you feel like nothing's happening, even when you put a post out, two people like it, you get a dodgy little comment on that, and you think, is there any point in this at all? Like, I might as well give up now. Even then, there's those silent viewers that are looking at your post and thinking, oh, do you know what? I quite like what he does
Yeah.
there. And those might be the people that click on your link and buy your product. So, don't think if a post flop, because half of my posts flop. Don't think if that happens that you're not gonna do well out of it. Just keep going. That's what I say. Keep
So
going.
you've kind of covered the fact that, like, look, we don't need to invest in an inordinate amount of time in building up our profile.
Yeah.
But obviously, you
Mhm.
said we do need to kind of actively go out and search for our tribe. So that means,
Yeah.
I need to take extra time to go on Instagram. So if I were to execute this, what is this going to look like? I
Yeah.
mean, because, obviously, again, maybe I've got a limited schedule. I don't want to spend 4
Yeah.
hours on Instagram making friends. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Mhm. No, absolutely. The way that I try and do it is an hour, right? So I spend an hour on Instagram a day. Okay, I'll schedule all my posts like I said before, but then come posting time, so 6 p.m. for me, 15 minutes before that, I start interacting with my followers. I look at my feed, I'll see like the people that I know and interact with. I'll start commenting on their posts.
Huh.
15 minutes before that, then when my post goes live, I'm first in mind and I appear first on their feed because I've interacted with them quite
That is
recently.
brilliant,
I'll
man.
then I'll spend another 15 minutes afterwards or up to half an hour engaging with people comments on my posts. If anything pops up, I'll do that. And within that time, there's also maybe 5 to 10 accounts that in my niche that I will interact with, and I'll interact with the people that are liking and commenting on their posts. Yeah. So not sometimes on their posts, but I'll click through, have a look at their profile, and if someone's engaging on a profile similar to me, then that's my audience. Those are the people that I want to speak to. So I'll engage with them. I'll just put a meaningful comment on there, and I'll spend up to an hour just engaging and doing that. If people follow me within that time period, I'll send them a DM saying, "Hey, thanks for following me." Nothing too cheesy, not like, "Oh, look, quick! Oh my God, you follow me! Come buy my book." No, no.
Yeah. What? We can't
I'll
assault them
just
with the
send them
book yet?
I'll send them a quick message saying, thanks for the follow. Great to interact with you. And if I like what they're doing on theirs, I'll follow them. I don't like the fact that people sort of like are so frightened to follow people back. At the end of the day, if someone likes your stuff, they're going to and the people that are following you are clearly interacting on similar profiles to you. Then you want to follow those people and you want to engage with them because they're going to keep engaging on your
Yeah.
posts. And the more people that engage on your posts, the more people see your post. So keep it to an hour of engagement, and to me that works a dream.
This is smart, man. There's so many great tips that you've offered. And as we're starting to wrap up today's podcast, I want to ask you the question I give to all my guests. And what is one piece of advice you could give to aspiring authors and self-publishers?
Just don't give up. Don't give up. You may feel that your audience isn't out there, because I know I've felt that throughout my time. But there is always an audience for your books. So just don't give up and stick at it, because it just takes the right person finding you, reading your books, and it could take you to a whole different world.
Big thanks to Andy for taking some time out his day. Folks, make sure you go on over, check out Andy Slinger over on Instagram when you get the chance, or go over to andyslinger.com to get more details about his coaching and book marketing services. Till next week, I'll catch you guys in the next interview.